Coming to your ears right now. We are rocking it out this week on Sitting with the Sosk, Oklahoma original Kylr Coffman from the nationwide film Nimrods swings by the studio to tell us all about rocking it out with Green Day, his OFA Studios project, from living on the streets to living the life. Kylr Coffman, this week on Sitting with the Sosk. Coming to your ears right now, produced by Streamliner. In a good way. Yeah, and you're going to give me some of that? You're going to give me some of that? You see that? What was I playing? We'll never know unless you're watching this on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, which you can do. You can become a member, join our YouTube station. Welcome to Sitting with the Sosk. I am PJ Sosko. I am your host. Welcome to the table, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of things happened today. It was very exciting. We went to Broken Arrow. I came back and I had to organize a whole. I'm leaving to go do a gig and then go do another gig with like some really cool people that I started filming last year. That's very exciting. But I want to do shout outs to Reed Arnold, my dog from New York. He wrote his piece, he did it as a play, he made it into a feature. It is now being released nationwide today, playing at Circle Cinema. It Do Us Part. I saw this at the Circle Cinema Film Festival. I want to give it some love because it truly is a funny, heartfelt rom-com, y'all. Like sweetness, good enough stakes, but nasty, but not like mean-spirited. It's got a really good heart. Please check it out. It's probably after you hear about it, and I'm talking about it, and this is going to be aired. Might not even be in theaters anymore, but if you see it on your streamer, check it out. It's a dope, dope film. Also, I want to give a little shout-out. This one is for you, BA Liquor Mart. Huff, can I have a little traveling music?
Yeah, don't travel, please. Yeah.
Those kids. The bus left. Thank you, ladies. That's for you. Y'all need to get these things right here. Now, I don't want to start a bad thing, but I'm telling you, get yourself a Frappuccino, go home, settle down in your porch with a fan. That's what's going to happen with your life, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Thank you, Huff. I have a very special guest who is going through a roller coaster ride right now that I got to sort of join his car for a very small amount of time. There's a film that is being released nationwide that is about Green Day, or based on their exploits, called Nimrods. Used to be called New Year's Rev. I get to play this sort of cameo side character, but joining me at the table is one of the members of the bands that this film is about, which is sort of embodying Green Day, who is a hometown boy. He's just back from LA from a big premiere, saw some crazy shit. Kylr Coffman, let's talk about the ride, dog.
Thank you for having me. I'm super stoked to be here.
Yeah.
You're so kind.
Congratulations, dog.
Dude, I'm so stoked. And congrats to you as well. I mean, you're in the film as well.
Yeah. It was a fun fucking... I got to walk up to this young man, and this is a huge film. There's a lot at stake. There's a lot going on. There's some really good, talented people. It's that moment where suddenly it goes from like, boy, I'd like to be that, to like, oh my God, that is here. Where there's cameras everywhere. It's a real crew. We're on the side of the road. And this son of a bitch is just trying to make him bust up. He walks up to me in green hair. We had been introduced prior. I forget how we first had sort of run into each other, but we'd known each other. And I could see you had your daddy pants on. Like it was play day. And I was just there to sort of like see if I could bust with you. And you were I think I got you once, potentially.
Maybe. Yeah, I'll never admit it on the record.
Man, talk about it, dude. Talk about it.
Well, specifically that day, I know when we met for the first time, it was Oklahoma winter on the side of a highway. That's where our scene took place.
Yeah.
Lonely.
Yeah. Sad.
You know, it's so funny. is we were filming a scene where as you were saying, like my dreams were coming true. This is my first big role in a big movie, and it's with Green Day and all this crap. It's such a dream come true, and we're in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, which is where I'm from.
You're from.
And I thought I had to escape that place to make my dreams come true. Meanwhile, that's where my dreams are coming true, right there in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma.
Man.
What the hell?
Like, in that moment, in that confines, with that realization, you're living the dream, right? You stuck it out, and here you are.
Yeah.
You know, and kudos to you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been such a trip, and I'm so thankful for that role and everything, because it allowed me to stand on top of that mountaintop that I think we only get to in our imagination oftentimes as dreamers. And I get to look at all my friends and all my other great artists that I have in my life who maybe they haven't gotten that opportunity or that spotlight yet, and I get to tell them, keep fucking going.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be on top of that mountaintop.
If this can do it, then
that's what I'm saying.
You got a shot.
And you're another person as well that like leads by example. So it's just really nice to, of course, have this win. But like I say all the time, what's the point of doing anything cool without people to share it with? And so it's so nice to not only have this for myself, but just pay it forward to other people.
Yeah. Because, all right, so let's go back. So you're born and bred here, right? But OKC?
Kind of like a Oklahoma mutt, like a lot of people. So, you know, for anybody that knows Oklahoma, small town like Watonga is where a lot of my family's from. Moore, Oklahoma is where I went to elementary school. Then I graduated high school from like Yukon Mustang area as well. But yeah, I'm Oklahoma born and raised. Being an actor felt so unattainable for me at a certain point in my life. And
so you doing it in high school? From the get-go?
The way it all started, loves of my life went skateboarding.
Because you get a film about that too.
Yeah, which I was so lucky about, to play this real-life skateboarder named Georgie. It was one of my favorite films. You guys can find that for free on YouTube. But it's one of my favorite shorts. Geo is what it's called.
Geo, shout out.
Yeah,
do your research, peeps.
So sick. But so my journey really starts here in Oklahoma, born to a single mom, and I love telling her story because she's an absolute badass.
Nice.
And
nice, dude. Go.
So
go.
had me really young at about like 15 and did it all on her own. And so I'm so grateful for her. I never felt like I was without, because I had such a great mom. I know I can pretty much accomplish anything because I have her blood in my veins. So shout out, Mom. Love you.
Yeah.
And so it all started there. And then, but since my mom, being a single mom, had to work all the time, I really grew up in skate parks and like punk venues. So I started skateboarding and then eventually found myself playing drums, and I started playing in punk bands, which is funny enough. That's what this movie is about.
Yeah, I've seen you talk.
Yeah.
You have, so this is in your background.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it. So
you've lived this a bit.
Recently cleaned out my grandma's house, and I found this picture of me at 13 with green hair.
Yeah.
I didn't remember ever having green hair.
It?
No, and then I found that
dumb.
picture recently. I was like, wow, I guess I was meant to be a green-haired bastard.
Yeah, man. Prescient.
Yeah, so grew up here in Oklahoma, and being an actor, the acting industry was the furthest thing from me. I didn't know anybody. I, come from Oklahoma, blue-collar people. And my mom didn't know her dad. I didn't know my dad. When I eventually met my dad, I realized he didn't know his own dad. So I don't come from shit. Statistically, I shouldn't have success in this industry, right?
Right.
Yeah, but then
you're beating the odds.
Yeah,
right.
Just stuck it out. After high school, I was just like, I think I need to do this, because it was high school theater that I.
You found like the high school that you went to had a theater program.
Yeah, and so
what was the first play, dude? What was? No, give me the shout out. Give me the shout out.
No, you're so good. I get so excited to talk, so I don't mean to talk over you. I get so stoked.
Do it.
Shout out to my drama teacher, Emily Farnham, because without her,
Emily Farnham, we're talking to you.
Mustang
you
High
did
School.
Good. Mustang High School.
Yes,
that's a badass high school name. That's like where Footloose should happen. Did you have your version of that?
No. Yeah, it was funny enough.
You're dreaming of Footloose now. Sorry.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about Footloose. Yeah, but no, growing up, I didn't think about any of this. If I was a skateboarder, I skateboarded and I played in punk bands. I thought acting was the corniest thing. But it wasn't until, I remember I only took high school drama class because there was this girl I was talking to that was taking drama, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get in class with her. Didn't get in class with her, and I actually hated my first year of it. I almost quit all of this. But my high school drama teacher, she gave me a responsibility, and every other teacher in my life kind of just sent me out into the hall and was like, I don't know what to do with you. But my high school drama coach was like, you know what, here's some responsibility, and she made me open up the curtain and theater.
Yeah, man.
If you don't open up the curtain, you don't see the play.
Happens, dude.
Nothing happens. So I felt that was the first time I felt purpose.
Yeah, man.
Was really in the theater, and I was like, holy shit, I guess I kind of matter. And not to get into too much of my daddy issues, but I really felt that in the theater, and then I just carried that over. The reason I went to Los Angeles over New York was because I knew I would be poor and struggle in the start of it, and I didn't want to be poor and cold. So I was like, at least I can be poor on the beach. So that's why I went to California.
I didn't have that influence. I went to the let me just be poor and struggle in the most expensive city in the world.
Yeah. I went the opposite route, and also just being a skateboarder, I was like, it was fun. So then I moved out to Hollywood right after high school, and I'm not jaded on Los Angeles. I'm thankful for my time there. I went through.
What was your spot? What was your?
I was always around Hollywood, but I eventually was homeless for about 2 years, which was one of the best times of my life.
For real?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what had happened was I was 6 months out of school, which is when your student loans hit from Sally Mae.
Yeah, I know.
And then I booked a commercial for, I won't say the company because I won't get in trouble.
Don't.
Yeah, it was supposed to be triple scale Super Bowl commercial, and it ended up not airing because what they did was shoot 6 spots and choose the 2 celebrity spots. Yeah, so you know how it's a learning lesson.
I shoot a big Super Bowl commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's a dope scene. We shoot it. I see it, and my little bit of it wasn't. They cut it out of the commercial because they wanted to sort of streamline the commercial from a 60 to a 30.
Yeah, and so it's nothing personal. You realize like it's not personal. It's just show business,
but all those people.
Yeah, and so
it becomes like did it happen? No, but I mean, like.
So what happens was I booked the commercial, shoot it, and then I'm like, my team's like, oh yeah, you're gonna get close to probably 6 figures with these residuals and stuff, and then they just say, okay, we're not gonna air it, so I just get the buyout, which is like maybe like $2,000 or something. In Los Angeles, that's like a month of rent. So I was 6 months out of school. I had my student loans due. I had to join SAG to do the commercial, so it was like SAG payments, and I didn't have the buyout. So I was like, what do I do?
Avalanche.
Yeah, what do I do? Yeah. Do I move back home? And I was like, you know what? No, I don't need a roof over my head.
With buds?
No, I had a Scion XB, and it was a box car, and I was able to fold down the mattresses or fold down the seats and fit like a queen size mattress pad. So I actually upgraded from a twin size mattress to a bigger one.
Nice.
Yeah, and I ended up loving it so much that I did it for about 1.5 years and 2 years because all of my money would go to acting classes, to headshots, and I knew what I was doing. Like I consciously knew.
Where are you showing? Where are you?
Oh, the gym, LA Fitness. Yeah. So I was healthier than ever because
I had an office at Crunch on Santa Monica Boulevard. That one.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. La Cienega and stuff.
That was like, okay, I'll just leave everything in this locker.
Yeah, and then you got that little pub you can hang out there. Yeah. So luckily the weather is perfect. So I'm
like Santa Monica. You always beach though.
Well, I would park up along like the Malibu and the beaches, and also in the Hollywood Hills. So I would have like $1 million views. It was so much fun. I have a book that I need to release where I had my friend. I don't know how I talked him into it. And my friend Josh, he was from Mustang, Oklahoma with me. He moved out to Los Angeles.
With you or just randomly?
Randomly, like after I was in LA for like 1 year or 2 in college, he was like, I kind of want to come out there. He moved out there with me, and then I went through, all that avalanche coming down upon me, and him being a real fucking friend, he was like, I'm not going back home either. So he lived out of his car. I lived out of my car. We documented it. He's a photographer. So I have this whole book I need to release. But yeah, and so I'm thankful I went through that experience because, even though I don't come from much resources, I had a mom that she would do anything she could to protect me.
Right.
But this was something that she couldn't. It was something that I had to say, Mom, I have to go through this to get where I need to be. And at the time, yes, I looked crazy. If I told people, hey, I'm homeless right now because I'm doing this for my acting career, I looked crazy. But now with the role that we're, here to celebrate in this movie and what my character gets to do in it, it's like once in a lifetime thing that I would go through being homeless again to do it. And
it gave you the character to be sitting at the table right now.
And it also gave me the perspective to appreciate it because I know it's not for granted. And nobody can say shit. I gave my blood, sweat, tears to be here. And I'm thankful, and I have so much humility for any support, but I also know that it wasn't given.
Yeah. It's not just manifesting.
Yeah.
You're busting your ass.
Yeah, the yin and yang.
And manifesting.
Yeah, yin and yang.
Yeah. You can't, sometimes you need the wave of good nature, or I was talking with somebody on the phone today that people are going to talk about you in the rooms you're not in. Keep doing good work. that will happen.
Yeah, and when you're a young artist, I mean, not just I don't mean young in age, just young in your journey as an artist. You hear those type of things, and I think they're hard to accept because you'll hear things like, you're going to get what's meant for you, but you'll be like, well, that role I just auditioned for would have been great if it was meant for me. You know, like I get those type of things, and it's hard to really accept that, you know, what's meant for you won't pass you by. It doesn't mean just manifest. You have to work and meet opportunity halfway. But yeah, with it all being said,
Okay, so
oh yeah, go for it. I just get so excited and lost in the sauce.
dude, you've had a good. When the times are going good and the roller coaster's like about to have that peaker, you're on that ride down, man. It's a really fun place to be in, and you want to be present in that place. So by all means, get lost in the sauce, man. You have your own acting studio here.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
And I love. It's gonna sound like I'm being all fucking media trained and stuff, but I'm not. I'm gonna tie all this back into.
No, it's the wrong one. We'll do this. No, it's the cricket. The media train stopped. All right, go ahead.
Good. Yes. So I wouldn't be here sitting here talking to you. I wouldn't have this role that people have resonated with. I wouldn't have booked this awesome film had I not had this acting studio. Right. So Oklahoma has this amazing film industry and film scene that's blowing up, as a lot of people know now. I mean, you realize I did not know that. I moved back from Los Angeles to Oklahoma because my mom had gotten cancer.
Right.
And she kicked its ass, but while she was here recovering, I just wanted to spend time with her. And all of our industry is now self-tape auditions, so it doesn't matter.
You could.
Yeah, where you are. As long as you have reps that can get you in the door, you can kind of be from anywhere now. And it's a beautiful thing. Some people are negative about it, but for me, it allowed me
absolutely
to be here with my family. And me being such a mama's boy, what I realized when my mom got in cancer, I was like, I'm only seeing my mom once a year around Christmas because that's all I can afford to go back home to Oklahoma because of Los Angeles, the nature of it. And I was like, that's depressing. Artist. I'm like, I can see my mom for how many more years? Like, I don't like that. So I moved back here, and I thought I was maybe potentially hurting my acting career, but I didn't care because it's my mom.
Yeah, sure.
And then when I got here, actors kept asking for resources about, you know, how do I meet agents and managers or this thing and headshots and stuff. And when I needed things, there was just nothing in Oklahoma City that really.
And how long had you been out to LA when you came back?
I had been out there. Man, I have time blindness, so I'm the worst with time questions.
A couple?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely more than a couple.
5?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely more than 5.
So you're coming back.
Yeah, I was.
Some things.
Yeah, I was happy
survived.
in Los Angeles. That's what I was saying. It wasn't. I had got
through homelessness.
I had gotten back on my feet. Yeah, I was back in a studio apartment. It wasn't like I moved back to Oklahoma because LA failed. Like I was happy and fine.
Part of you want to say, well, you were homeless.
Yeah. Well, no. But I made it through that. So yeah, I was right. My mind wasn't failure. I knew what I needed to do. So it would have been more of a failure for me to come back and be comfy and home.
No, of course.
So,
I make fun.
I know you. Yeah, I know. And so, yeah, I come back here to Oklahoma and I start this studio reluctantly. I've never owned a business. I've never even used a camera. I remember one of my first acting classes, I had an SD card and I deleted it all like on the computer and I kept plugging it back into the camera and it said card full because I didn't know you had to format a card. So my acting class students saw me learn some of these things in real time, and now we have this incredible studio where it was always at its core wanting to give back and open the door that I didn't have.
Right.
And then through that, I was like, oh, I can learn how to use a camera. I can learn how to run a crew. I can hire a team. And that way we can start, we can start making our own things and not be so dependent, because I started my career into a strike and a pandemic, and I love Hollywood. I'm not so jaded.
Planning.
Yeah, good planning, but you can't depend on Hollywood. So it was nice through this acting studio and through just being reluctantly in this place where there was a sincere need and I had some tools to help out, that I started this studio, and I started in the living room of my apartment in Oklahoma City, and it's completely grown and expanded, and we have a
So look at the name on the hat, ladies and gentlemen, and you will see the name of his studio.
Yeah, OFA Studios, which is short for Oklahoma Film Actors Studio, because for me, it's not about me and my dumb face. As you know, this art form is so much bigger than us, and these principles and these things, they need to be here, and it's important for me to build a team and build systems that can get this knowledge here. Even if I'm not here.
One of the reasons we started the podcast was like, I'm blessed to have had like 30 years in this industry where I've been able to make a living, knock, knock. That means I'm a success. We could have a drink over that later. But what I've garnered from that and what I've seen and the good lessons that I've learned and the people that I've had a chance to create with, I want to pass the good stuff on and make sure that we keep creating, especially in the face of all the things that we're in the face of AI and but to survive in this career, you got to be better somehow, whatever that is.
Oh, I love that. That's
something has to rise above.
Yeah.
And that is what is expected of us on the daily. And if you don't want to face that, then this might not be the path for you. But boy, if you want to like step up to it every day.
Yeah, two huge things off of what you just said, especially with the rising above. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the first thing is and maybe it takes a paradigm shift, but you realize like there is no finish line, especially with being an actor. And maybe in some professions that's going to drive you crazy. Like, what, you mean there's no end? But for me, I'm like, you mean I get to wake up every day and do this? Fuck yeah.
You've never learned enough.
Yeah, exactly.
You can always take another class.
And so
you can always fucking fill the sponge.
That's what I'm saying. And so if you have that paradigm shift, it just kind of unlocks everything.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that you said about rising above is that's exactly why I feel, and that's what I was hinting at when I started talking about the studio, is starting the studio led to me being able to book this because it allowed me to elevate to this higher frequency. When I was in Los Angeles, I was like so many artists where it was me versus the world, and I was focused on me. And, you know, I'd book some guest stars and I had great reps and all those things, but I never really booked anything that moved the needle. Okay. And then when I moved back here to Oklahoma, I didn't plan on it. It wasn't a conscious decision, but I started helping people. And whenever I was focused on other people, the world just fucking unlocked. And it's like the Beatles say, the love you take is equal to the love you make. And I'd always heard that type of stuff, but until you feel it in your bones and you put it into practice, you won't truly know. And so I encourage everybody to invest in others around you, invest in the community, because what's the point of having this big movie if you have nobody to share it with? You're just going to be in a movie theater by yourself with a bunch of strangers. And maybe that's cool for a little bit, but it's so nice to share these experiences with loved ones.
Dude, within 2 years' time, in my own little way, not that I have an acting studio, I got to watch, we closed the second season of the Sandbox stuff that we do at Circle. And it's a 100-plus theater, probably like 115 theater. And there really wasn't a room and that people were sitting on the aisle and bringing chairs in on a Tuesday. And really doing good work and putting pressure on themselves to deliver and wanting to be there to support and to discern. I'm trying to build a community of, let's not just glad hand, have your opinion. You don't like it? Good.
Yeah.
We want to slightly offend at times. We want to push and to do that, you're going to like not be everybody's cup of tea all the time. Yeah. That's important to make those choices and to push those boundaries. Edgy is what we are.
Yeah. That's so lovely that you say that too. I think that whole, wanting to be liked all the time, I understand where it comes from.
Oh, I'm stuck with that. Yeah. I want to be liked all the time.
Especially us as artists, we're all made fun of. Like we all want to be understood and stuff. I totally get where it comes from. So I don't villainize it. I don't look at it in a negative place. But sometimes when I think that, like as a person, that's fine. But when it permeates your art, sometimes you start making choices based on what you think others will like versus what's authentic to you. And then we never see any true artistship or any true authenticity because everybody's trying to be likable, they're trying to be this thing that's socially acceptable, I feel like it sometimes stops us from making truly elevated art.
What's your story?
Yeah.
What's your thing that cuts through? Yeah. It's the POV. It's the choice, right? Actors, we have to make a choice. That choice, when we say make a choice, it's about unlocking your POV of this sitch.
I love that.
You're the only one that's going to have your unique one. And if you don't have one, if you've been safe, if you've tried to take the high ground, if you've always been like, okay, you might not have the full room. You might not have the full gamut of the human condition at your ability.
Yeah, because you're only looking through that lens of what's going to be like versus everything else that's outside around
or
there.
What gets me known.
Yeah, it's something too that I really just had a big, heart-to-hearts with myself about. I was like, bananas. We've heard of them, right? They're delicious.
Yes.
There are people that don't like bananas. You think I can compete with how awesome a banana is? No. So people probably are not going to like everything that I do, and that's okay.
Yay.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Bananas aren't crying.
Well, you do a production of M Butterfly, right? And people walk out because you're doing it wherever you're doing it, but it ain't where normally they'd be watching M Butterfly. Good. I think it's good to irreverence, I guess, is not to offend. The point can't be to like watch how I can really piss some people off.
Yeah.
That's just mean-spiritedness. But to be irreverent to something is also to hold something else up to the mirror as well.
Yeah,
which
I like
think is
that
dope.
too. Yeah, because it's yin and yang as well. If you're trying to just be likable at all times, I think the opposite of that is just trying to be offensive at all times. And I think both can kind of have their and you.
But if you have a truth to yourself and just lead with joy, dude. So talk. I always try to say, like, I hope that the joy comes forth, right? Like, I hope that you don't think like, oh, here he is saying, look, or here's the spotlight. It's like, no, those moments where you're like, oh my God, can I enjoy this one for a second? And I saw you on the red carpet. And there was a moment, and I don't want to, hopefully this is okay. You were like threw the bird at somebody underneath your jacket, and I heard, and it almost sounded like your mom going, Kylr. And you were like, oh, yeah, okay, hey.
My
and
mom.
then boom, it was like from the little boy who's like, oh my God, to then suddenly like, yes, how are you?
Yeah, that's so funny. Shout out Bronte, my publicist.
Oh, your publicist. Good on
she's
you,
awesome.
Bronte.
Yeah,
keeping it in
Bronte.
check. Bronte,
Yes,
sorry.
yeah, Bronte. Sorry, but Bronte is the best. Yeah, so shout out Bronte, my publicist. She absolutely rules. My mom was there too, and it was.
man.
I mean, we're there at a Green Day premiere. Maybe if I'm playing a doctor in a different film, that's not the time and place. But I was having so much fun. I also realized too, when I'm in those big Hollywood events, what's so nice about being from Oklahoma is, yes, it means the world to me. We're living our dreams. But why do I gotta look so serious? We're here standing on a carpet that people are taking pictures for, so we can get a Getty image tag on it.
Yes.
Why not have some fun?
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
and what's funny is the flipping the bird picture, Entertainment Tonight specifically chose that one to post. Yeah, so major publications were running with that.
So Green Day, it's rock and roll.
Hollywood's punk. I think
It's in your face a bit.
Hollywood, I think, misses having fun. That's what I noticed from some of the people taking pictures on the red carpet. Everybody was trying to
We take our... Well, there is that.
do some stuff.
You want it?
Hey, oh my God, I'm like, dude, why we all look fucking constipated? Have some fun.
I
We're
am
here
serious
having
as a
fun. We're
motherfucker
live.
about my craft, but it's serious fun.
Yeah,
And
it's
without that's the true yin and yang about the work.
Hey,
Right?
what do we work on in movies and TV? There's screen what?
Yeah, plays.
Plays.
Oh, here we
Fucking
go.
Play.
We are philosophisticating at the freaking table tonight. But wait, all right. So I wanted to throw this one at you. So all right. So you're teaching a studio, successful, lots of peeps there. This is your chance. So this is not the biggest thing you've done. You've done FBI, shout out. You've done some. You've had some guest stars and whatnot, and you've dabbled. But this is like the real deal. What were the differences for you? What were you expecting that was like slightly like this? Like what was like a slap?
Sick. What a great question. I'm so happy to be here talking with you and, somebody who's I consider a peer, not just, somebody I'm giving an interview to, because that question is so nuanced and great there of course were the obvious things that you learn leading a project of this scale when you're there. I don't believe I had 1 day off out of the 36 days.
Responsibility, dog.
And I'm there every single day, 12 hours a day. So, of course, that just workload, like you think that you're ready for it, but till you're exposed to it, you're like, okay, there are levels to this. So some of the slaps in the face, which were great lessons to learn, and I'm happy that on this set, I had somebody called Jenna Fisher.
Yeah.
Get a Jenna Fisher in your life for your first big film. She has a book called The Actor's Life. She was incredibly instrumental in just me probably keeping my head on my shoulders throughout the set. And
to have come from such a collaborative, successful experience that everyone loved.
Yeah, and
come on.
Some of the things I learned...
Shout out, Jenna.
Were also from the basic things of like double lunch. I get so excited on set. Let me retract that before I get to the
You're going to talk about
thing.
getting slapped in the face by a double lunch?
No, I'm not. No, what I'm going to talk about is I get so excited on set and also with my neurodivergence that I don't have the brain chemistry, the neurological receptors that will tell me when I'm tired, I'm hungry. I just don't have that
Feel
already.
that.
And then whenever I'm excited, I'm getting dopamine from being on set that I can't go anywhere else. It's like a drug addict at times. And so I'm living my best life. And so I don't realize that I'm not sleeping or eating. And what I had to realize was...
I have no idea what he's talking about at all, whatsoever.
Yeah, and it'll happen because we are, and this was what I had to learn, is we are, yes, living our dreams, especially a role like this. I am living my dreams every day, but our characters aren't always living their dreams. Sometimes they're going through hard moments where we have to be grounded to meet that moment honestly. And if we're elated on cloud 9, we're not going to be able to do that sincerely. And so you have to be able to, you have to be able to separate the two and, have that part of you that is so excited and not jaded, and you're so happy to be here. But you also have that part of you that has boundaries. And, like I said, I'm on set 12 hours a day with my co-stars. Yes, a famous person is flying in this week. I want to go to dinner with them, but I'm going to spend all day on set with them.
Right.
I can hang out with them there.
Right.
Spend time recharging and having healthy boundaries. And that's not a negative thing. Nobody did anything wrong. It's just learning how to protect your peace amongst that chaos that is production.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was the real thing that I learned from this project.
And that can be received tricky. And it's like, when I'm doing the HBO thing, when I'm doing Hunter, a lot of times I'm trying to, I'm playing an iconic figure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be over in the corner making sure that I'm in his rhythm, in his body. It's not mine.
Yep.
I'm working with Carla Gugino. I want to chill and talk about the career that Carla's had. My God. And I'm like over in the corner, just keeping on just staying in the zone.
Yeah.
And then part of me in retrospect of that is like, you missed all those times because you were working. And it's like, well, yeah, but because this is Green Day. This is how it's game day.
Exactly.
We have to throw a touchdown.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun at the premiere and everything once we're there and we've gone across the finish line. But yeah, it's really fun, and it was such a fun lesson because you can sit around all day thinking about leading a movie, but until you're actually there, actually putting those thoughts into practice, you really realize kind of what you're made of and where you need to strengthen certain areas and where you surprise yourself where you had strength. And so I'm so thankful for that experience because I think it just taught me and solidified everything that I needed to have this amazing career that I'm working towards.
Yeah, man. No, you're succeeding that, man. Succeeding that.
Yeah, and it's just been such you said so many beautiful things too that I should make sure I touch on them.
It's look, there's a really weirdly specific ride that I had in New York where I had these opportunities to be like the number one or like the film's on your shoulders, but then because of A, B, C, and D, it didn't get to the finish line because I ran out of money or because I could tell you again, we could have a whole podcast about that kind of stuff. But I can never somebody could be done with this career from half of them. Potentially from being let down of all this work went to nothing, and all of it made it so that each time I'm even more prepared when it comes when the stakes are high, when the camera's about to roll and there's 350 people and go. It's thrilling. That's the
Well, yeah, and what you said too, which is it's so nice as well. I mean, everyone has their own different process, and I am always curious, to hear what your perspective is on things. I never know how I'm going to approach a role or build up, this life until you book it, until you get it, until you start actually dipping your toes in the water. And so there's some characters where it's I need to have those boundaries where maybe I'm going to stay to myself and I don't need to interact with people. Maybe I'm going to look a little standoffish, but I need to do that to protect my peace because of whatever it is. And then there's some roles like this character of Fred where I didn't need much to understand them. In fact, if I did a lot of the academic work and the script analysis, I would get in my head.
Get in the way.
Yeah, get in the way. And so I had to actually on this set, kind of be more out there and extroverted than I typically ever would be because that's
your instincts
because that's how
really, that's what got you.
Exactly. And so I am so just so excited to continue to explore, this path and see, what I try out for future roles and all that. But for Fred, especially for this one, once they dyed my hair green and I was a little bastard, I was off this planet. I felt like a Sims character just watching it, having an out-of-body experience in the best way.
When you see him do his like mushroom tripping scene, or you see us, you see, I don't want to do any spoilers, but I roll up to this guy after this group of morons has done something so fucking dumb, and these three idiots, I get to stroll up to them and say what we would all want to say to three morons sitting in front of them. And in the middle is the tallest one with a green head of hair. I don't remember specifically. I jotted one down. I was trying to find the script because they were so many. When I saw you, I was writing down all the things. Like, I know that I was doing like a shit stain with something vomitous too.
Gangrene.
No, gangrene. Oh, look, the shit stain with gangrene talks or something like that. And I remember Mason Thames, shout out to you. I remember specifically when I called your ass Bobby Brady. That shit made him crack a little bit. I think I busted each of you once.
Yeah.
Potentially.
It was such a fun day.
It was a fun day.
And I remember, as soon as you left set too, the director, and that's what I love, having this experience. The director, Lee, he even said like he couldn't believe that you were from Oklahoma because you were so talented. And
I'm not.
I appreciate the humility.
But not that even that. Like,
oh well, no, but I meant
love
like
that
right now that you're based here.
But I love
that's
that.
What
But
I
I
mean.
think he thought he probably thought I was from
like
here,
born
which
and
is
bred.
awesome.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
No, I'm from Queens.
Yeah. But being here now, it's so amazing because you would think, why the hell is somebody so talented with your experience? Why are you here in Tulsa, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma? You know what I mean?
Life led you here.
Life, exactly. And there is so much beauty
And I
here.
got to be in a Green Day movie because I happened to be in Tulsa. Great, right? Okay, let's fan out for a second so you get to hang out because I'm a huge fan. Always, like, I found out about punk when I saw Green Day. And then suddenly you find out all these people who were like punk for a long time are like, oh, those guys, they're not punk. I'm like, but wait, they are. They're just guys are fucking badasses. So I've always, like, from Dookie to, like, every incarnation, I've had my manager that I had in New York for many, many years. She had a client who was in their development of the musical, so I got to see like a dress rehearsal of American Idiot. And it was like, shout out to you, Lily and Sal, and Sweet 180. So I feel like I have so many ties to Green Day. My now wife bought me a ticket for like my 30th birthday to go see them live, which was one of the most amazing shows I've ever seen. So meeting them, working with them, because I know you've been a fan. Were you a fan of them as well?
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Again, like, it sounds like I'm just doing dumbass media training, but I loved Green Day growing up. That world, like I said, I grew up playing in punk bands. The loves of my life before acting were skateboarding and then punk music, hardcore music, that scene. And I grew up playing in garage bands and pop punk bands. So it allowed me to approach this script with a sincerity that I'm thankful for, because I saw this world and I wasn't like, oh, this is just a funny comedy with Green Day. I was like, this is a world that saved my life.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, music scenes, DIY music culture, being in bands, that saved my life. And Green Day and the punk rock culture is something that is just in my bones. I couldn't get rid of it.
So there's a real truth, and there you have the authenticity,
and
dog. You care about it all.
Yeah, and I know, there's always people that if you say the word punk, they try to get it, like, that's not what it is, Green Day's not that, yada yada. For me, and fuck all that noise, punk for me has always just been saying fuck off to the things that don't serve you. That's just what it is.
It's rebellion.
It's just go to what feels true to you and say fuck off to the things that don't serve you. And if what serves you is, doing this thing, cool. If somebody else
don't tell me not to be.
Exactly. And I'm
not going to tell you not to be, but you hold it up.
And then the other things, the other values, not just that whole, fuck off to things. Like, I think that's a core value that everybody kind of gets. But what I learned from bands like Green Day and Operation Ivy and, the world of that Gilman Street, CBGB, all that punk world that has all came together and influence and corroded my brain. It also taught me to take care of my neighbor. It taught me that DIY aspect, that, hey, nobody's going to come around and make these things happen for you, so you got to make it happen. And I carry that with me to this day. I don't think if I didn't grow up listening to Green Day and punk rock music, I wouldn't have made the acting studio, because I wouldn't have had that mentality. So I'm so thankful for bands like Green Day and getting to meet them. What a trip. They didn't tell me the day that they were going to be. I knew they were going to be there that day, of course, because you get the call sheet, and I know, because it's I have it framed. It's like my name, like all of our names, Mason, Ryan, and I.
Yeah.
And then Billy Joe, Mike Durant, Trey Cool, all on the same call sheet. What is that?
Dude, yes,
So
yes,
man,
yes.
I get
big.
Yeah, and then I remember just walking on a set, and I didn't know when they were going to be there, or like when they were going to introduce us or anything. So I just walk in, just chilling, and then there they all are, just sitting there. I was like, yeah. But luckily they're the best, and they had been watching all the dailies. When we first started making this film, we weren't supposed to go to theaters. They thought that we were probably just going to go to streaming at best. And through the dailies and through the work that, the director trusted us to do, I knew the producers started having more and more faith. I know that we started getting
Shout out
more.
Lee Kirk. I'm
Kirk,
talking to you, man.
best.
Well done, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So willing to let us. No, but I mean that, like, when I came to, I was going through something heavy that day. And like, when I came to set, y'all were like, there was such a sense of play. There was no sense of like, oh, here's the three young guys that I'm supposed to be like, what are they like? There was just like, everybody, you got the sense the whole fucking team was working towards the same cause, which is what you want it to be.
That's beautiful. I'm happy that you picked up on that too.
Absolutely, dog.
And yeah, for Lee, who just cannot say enough great things about, and you got to work with him as well. What I really appreciate him for as a director, what he allowed to do, and he taught me, is, yes, he writes this amazing world, and it gives you all the inspiration. Like, he allowed us to do so much improv and make it our own and have fun, but it's because we had such amazing structure. We knew exactly, we've got to go from point A to point B, but how I get there, he allows me to make that my own. And to have that maturity and trust to be able to write such great scripts and jokes, but to be able to hand it over and let the actors kind of make it their own and have that trust within your cast is something I feel so privileged to have felt, because you don't always get that trust from a director.
No, man.
And
I remember saying to him, okay, this motherfucker that you've written, there is no way in hell I am going to walk from this truck with what these jackholes have just done and not say anything to them or myself in that journey. And he's like, oh yeah. And I was like, okay.
good, yeah.
And it was like that. And there was no, yeah, sure, breathe, go, make it happen. And it was like, that's where I just dipped into I moved out of Queens when I was a kid in 4th grade and went up to upstate New York. So I always felt like I had the city mouse and the country mouse. I know Crazy Hank. I helped Crazy Hank milk his cows.
That's good.
He's an amalgam of all these things that I've touched truly and had an opinion with and worked with and fallen in love with and all that kind of stuff. So that he trusted me, that he could see that I wasn't just trying to like make the scene longer. It's like, no, I'm taking what you've written and let me fly with it, because let's make him crazy.
That's so beautiful.
Because these guys, these three dipshits just did this. Can I please, for everybody who's ever encountered someone done something stupid, let me embody that today and read them the riot act. And it was just like, it was delightful. So this is going on. You're riding the wave. You just got back from the thing. What, do you have things that are opening up? Or are you just trying to breathe? Where's your head at? How are you riding the wave?
All the above, and just even, it's such an important thing too that you just hinted at. This has been such an amazing journey. It is incredible. And I have been at periods in my life where I've had wins that are fun, but I was so burnt out from working and having no boundaries that I couldn't feel the joy from it. I'd get too high, and then with that high would come the incredible lows.
Sure.
And I didn't feel like I had a center, was able to stay grounded. And I feel that throughout this process, I've been able to stay present and grounded with it all. And it's been nice, the things that are coming, the things that have manifested from this.
Good for you, man.
But it's also nice that I'm able to separate myself from it and have happiness in a center outside of it all.
Yeah.
And I've been very, very good about protecting that, about, make sure I'm spending time with my family. Like I rode my motorcycle up here because
dog.
Talking about being everywhere all at once. You want to know where you can't be everywhere all at once?
Yeah.
Riding a fucking motorcycle.
Nor can you put, I guess apparently, nor can you have your cell phone in your back pocket.
Oh yeah,
when
so
you're riding
I was supposed
here.
to have, I was supposed to do this podcast like 2 weeks ago. Thank you guys for the grace.
No,
So I was riding up here and my cell phone just fell out of my pocket. And
I'm on a laptop. I'm like, this motherfucker
I pulled
is
over
really
at like
going
some
deep
gas
today.
station. I had my laptop on me. Luckily, took a picture from my laptop, sent it to you. And it was like, phone's busted. And I just didn't have GPS. And it was getting dark. So I
No,
was
of
like,
course, dude. And you're leaving for LA, and it's the worst.
Yeah, it was like the
situation
day
ever.
before leaving for LA. I don't know what I was thinking.
The grace
So
was there.
thank you guys for that grace. It means the world. But yeah, so I've been great and better than ever about having healthy boundaries and routine and forcing myself to have that. Thankfully, so once I booked this job, there's only 2 things that I bought. I got a bass the day that I booked this role because I needed to learn how to play it. I
Yep.
playing drums.
Oh, we got to get you a Scott.
Oh,
Scott's
good.
not here. Damn. Okay, go.
Good. But yeah,
We'll
so
get
I
you
went
guys
and
together.
bought a bass and to start learning that, and I could not put the bass and guitar down. I absolutely love it.
Nice.
And then once I wrap production, I've been very frugal. I'm not
Yeah.
stupid, but
Continue to
therapy. Therapy is what I have probably invested most of my resources into because I didn't have the time or the resources to do that.
give yourself the grace for that.
Yes. And so through that and everything, I've just learned healthy routines and boundaries to make sure that I can keep that center because I don't have sometimes the brain chemistry to stop myself from, I love what I do so much. I will do it nonstop.
Yeah.
Until I'm falling over because I haven't slept or ate because I'm just doing it
But
nonstop. And you have to have boundaries or else you're going to be in these places where you have these wins, but you're so burnt out. You're so exhausted, you're so jaded on it that you can't feel happiness. And I never want to be there again. And
Pocket the joy, ladies and gentlemen.
pocket that shit.
When you have the moments, pocket the joy.
Yes.
I want to thank you for coming to this table, for shooting the shit with me. We are at the end of our time. We're going to do this again. We're going to play together because right when we were starting this podcast, we mentioned that we should do a reading of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. So for all my theater people that are out there, I don't know. Something like that's going to happen with these two gentlemen. I know that for sure.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Dude,
I love this.
Ride the wave, have fun, be safe, be present, keep the ego at bay, remember the joy. OFA Studios, where can they find out information about that?
OFAstudios.com, OFA.studios on Instagram, and if you need help, whether it's in person or virtual, we've got your back. We're a vending machine for actors and artists, and whatever snack you need, whether that be through classes, intensives, headshots, self-tapes, yada yada. The same things I use to book myself on this job, I will literally give to you.
You got Funyuns?
Do I got Funyuns?
Yeah.
I can get some if you need that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to give you Funyuns. This has been Sitting with the Sauce. You like, subscribe, follow on Spotify. You can find us on Substack. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on... what else, Sash? Okay, no, Huff, say goodbye. Goodbye. Sasha, say goodbye. Goodbye. Kylr, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Take us out with some music, motherfucker. Produced by Streamliner.